Today is Saturday, October 12th, and I'm starting up some new threads, so I thought I would show you how I do that. So I start off with about 7 feet of thread, and I find an area where I can do a couple of what I call figure eights to anchor the thread down. In work like this, you don't have to knot anything. It's not getting that kind of wear where you have to worry about thread pulling out or beads falling off. That's just not going to happen with this kind. So you can see that there's still a tail right here, and I'm just going to pull that a little tighter and hide that tail. And then I'm just going to go again, keep going in that direction. I might just go through a couple more beads here like that. And then I'm gonna go this direction. I just don't want any thread showing, so I'm just following my old thread paths. I'm gonna pull that through. Right. It's kind of a cloudy day today. We haven't had rain in a really long time, and we're getting some rain right now, little sprinkles. I think it's worse down south, but we sure need the rain. It's very dry. We're in a severe forest fire possibility because it's so dry. We still have lots of tourists up here, so you never know what somebody's gonna one stupid person is gonna decide to start a campfire in the middle of some dry forest. Alright, so and then that's pretty much it. And you can pull on it, make sure it's not gonna, that little part isn't gonna come out, whatever. And it's pretty tight. So now you just start up with your peyote stitch. And I think I've talked about in other videos here that like this beginning web, I'll just use the corresponding bead, or at least the bead size, and to make this first row, oops, grab that bead again, pick through. But this is kind of loose, so I might go ahead and, even though this is a size 8 right there, I've grabbed a size 11. Ooh, really flicking these beads around and pass through. And when I say I'm tightening up that row, that means I'm just kind of pulling it tighter. So like this right here, that's a size 6. I've grabbed a size 8, and I'm picking through, pulling that tight, and you could see how we're starting to get, this is going to curve like this around if I do that again with this bead or with this selection, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and grab a an 11 and an 8 to fill that gap. So I did have one question, I think it was on the last video or maybe the video before, and somebody said that they were a beader and they wondered where I got my curved needle from. And I thought that was pretty funny because if you're a beader, I don't know how you don't end up with a curved needle no matter what kind of stitch you do, but I use either, and right now I'm just running through material that yeah, I guess you could say material inventory of supplies that I've had forever. I used to be a buyer at a bead store, and then I've kept contacts with wholesale, that people still allow me to buy wholesale from them, but I have not actually purchased beads in a while, because I just don't need to. I got plenty. But anyway, I either use St. James bead needles or pony, and I just, you know, I think that they're interchangeable. I don't have a preference to either one, but after a time when you're doing, especially with this particular freeform, and you're having to go in and out, the needles are just so thin that you end up getting a natural curve to them, and it really helps actually in working the thread, or working the stitch rather. I don't think I need to add 2 beads, I just need 1 there. Okay, let's get a size 8 and a size 11 there. And I'm going to pull through those 2. Well, not much new going on around here. The town where I work has a huge number of people with COVID. And I have been wearing a mask to work. I guess it's been maybe 2 months now. And I'm just hoping that I don't get it. But man, I feel like the people that I work with and the people that wander through the building where my work is are incredibly selfish motherfuckers. I will just say it like that. Everybody knows that Benjamin is ill, and I have a feeling that there are some people who I believe will be wearing masks when I come in on Monday, but I'm gonna guess that the majority of people will not be. I mean, there's lots of people who wear masks that are in my building because there's a pharmacy, and it's mostly older people who are wearing masks, which I really appreciate. But there's also a thrift store, and I believe that the people who own it are 100% Trumpers, and they bring that COVID into the building. I did have COVID about 1.5 years ago, and I would bet anything that it was those assholes who brought it into the building. I don't think, gosh, it was me and I think just maybe 2 or 3 other people that I work with that got it last year. There hasn't been a big outbreak, but you know, school is back in session. There's also a daycare in the facility, so I don't know. Oh, what else is happening? Benjamin was really not well last week for the majority of the week. I think it was just really a rough week. But he was definitely feeling better by the end of it. And he is out today at Menards. He did put in the house that we live in is not finished, and so he's just kind of, you know, as he feels up to it, doing stuff. He installed the doors, and that was a couple weeks ago, and maybe a month ago. and he installed the door jambs and some of the base trim in the bathrooms. So that's, you know, he just kind of works little bits as he can. And he's down in Duluth today to pick up some random things, so that if he feels like working this week, he can do that. My brother got me a creamy, Ninja Creamy, which I have had my eyeballs on for a couple months, and I am so excited. I've loved everything I've made, even though it's not necessarily come out, I think, like how it should, whatever. It's kind of icy. I'm trying to work up a recipe for some of the ingredients that we carry at work, and so I'm trying to utilize the coconut milk powder, which can be mixed to, you know, like a cream consistency, and I think it tastes really good. Like I use it a lot in if I'm making a curry, iced coffee, like just a whole gamut of things. But for some reason, I'm not loving how it's coming out in the ice cream. And so I'm trying to dial back the amount of water and make it just really thick. And I picked up some inulin, which is something that we carry. It's made out of acacia fiber. It's not high calorie, and it's real high in fiber. But the information that I have on it, it says that people use it for frozen treats. So I just mixed something up last night, and so I'm trying to remember what all I put in that particular mix, but I'm excited to see if adding that particular ingredient, it will help the texture and make it more like an ice cream instead of like ice milk or something, which I don't mind, but it's not very satisfying, I would say. And I'm trying to make my whatever it is, I don't necessarily make a full pint, because I cannot eat that much of anything in one sitting. That's a lot. And I mean, you can put it back in the freezer and respin it, which I'm gonna try. This will something that I made for this morning's test. I could only have a couple bites of it. It was pretty rich, and hope I'm not blocking too much of the light. It is, like I said, kind of cloudy today. I'm gonna use natural light here. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Whew. I'm just really obsessed with that creamy. I want to get a recipe that uses a couple of different ingredients. Like maybe I want to try a pistachio. I've ordered some. Plus, I just want to be able to use the stuff that I have on hand. So, so far, my tofu, the one I made with tofu, has been my favorite. Real thick and just super, super good. But it would be fun to have something that I could post on our Wildly Organics new recipe, because we don't really have very many new recipes. Alright, so I'm just gonna pull this together. And let's see, how do I want to, I'm gonna go back this way. So I'm going into the bead right next to it so I can hide that thread. Go through this one. And back this way. So I'm going to grab, this is the last bead that I actually added, and I just want to tighten that up, see how nicely that pulls together. And then I'm just going to use a little tiny size 15 to fit up in that corner, and then a size 11, and I'm going to come back down, and I'm going to just go through one bead there. Actually, the way that that's laid flat, so we'll just go ahead and go through both. Nice. All right, well, I think that's pretty much all for right now. I'm gonna make another video when I'm ready to tie off. Can't remember if I've already shown you guys that, so we'll do that next. Let's see here. Things have really slowed down on Etsy, and I sure would like to have a couple, which this totally reminds me I need to do my quarterly sales tax. So if you feel like supporting my work, it is Darcy Horn Beadwork at .etsy.com. And to think a minute there. That would be great. And if you feel like maybe supporting Benjamin's work, he is at cannonriverbowl.etsy.com. We don't have a whole lot up there. I mean, we're running through bowls, but it has slowed down for him as well. We're expecting kind of a little bump here for the holidays, but that's a story for another time, what happened over there with him, which is a total bummer. Yeah, so I think that is all that I have. And like always, if you have any questions, just let me know, and try and get that answered. I'm gonna just set my thread right there. Talk to you later.